it seems like, from an outside perspective, the sales job, when you get good at it, it's a life where you kind of are a business owner, but without all the stress of being a business owner. You almost get to enjoy the perks of making good money, having freedom to an extent, but it's almost like you have the good perks without the downside risk of like, I'm going under and I'm going to be $100 million in debt. And my life's going to be ruined forever. So it's an interesting thing I've been thinking about lately. It's like, so many people want to like go and start the business. And I do think you should. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I think there is a moment where you need to take the second and be like, understand that it's not all, it's not all glory. Most of it sucks. But that suck is what builds the person you want to become. But if you're like, I don't know if I want to go through that, I wouldn't recommend it. Just get a good paying sales job in a specific part of a business where you can specialize on one area like sales, make good money doing it, and be able to live the life you want to live.
Yeah, I think something that you mentioned, it all really depends on the life you do want to live. I mean, sales, and I don't know what the statistic is, but majority of W-2 employees make more than founders. That's, excluding
Just reality.
yeah, it's just a reality. But you have to also take into consideration that, your livelihood is in the hands of multiple other people that you have zero control over. You're making other people richer. But like if you don't want to live or have the potential rewards of what it is to be a CEO or to have your own company or to exit whatever it is, then a W-2 sales job is, you can have a very, very good life doing that. But again, I think it
There's
just,
actually another thing. Sorry, keep going.
no, I was just gonna say, I think it all kind of comes back to what you were talking about of the life you want to live and what you want to leave behind.
Yeah, I was just, while you were saying that, I was just thinking like, at the same time I say that, but we as people, we kind of need to try something in order to realize we don't want it.
Yeah, and I think it is on the individual too. Some people just have that, whatever it is inside them that makes them want to start something, to build something, to be a part of something. And I know plenty of people that don't. I think Braden and
Yeah.
I were on a baseball team where 90% of them could care less about that, but there is a small few that they do care about that. They do want, whether it's financial freedom, whether it's, legacy, whatever it is that they're trying to do and can be accomplished with solely starting a company, then it's a few and far between.
What is that for you, Jake? What was the thing? Because I know what it is in Braden. The kid's a psychopath. I grew up with him. He's just never gonna stop. But what is it with you that, has that drive in you?
I mean, primarily it's just the game. Well, there's the game. Selfishly, there's the wealth portion of it, just the financial freedom aspect that I want to achieve through building and starting something, that obviously we're working on. But I mean, just me personally, like I just hate the fact that when I make a sale or I close a six-figure deal or something, like I'm just making multiple other people richer, and that drives me crazy, and it always has. Like it, I know probably no matter what it is, like you're always going to be making other people money, but just knowing that my career is in the hands of a few other people that could just get rid of me whenever, regardless of economic conditions, of just life, COVID, whatever it might be. Um, I want to eliminate that. And so,
Yeah, being able to work on what you want to work on while also having the choice of like, I don't want to do anything today. I'm not going to do anything today.
yeah, I mean, like it's not like I don't care to be a multi-billionaire like Bezos or anything like that, but to get to a point in my life where I can do what I want when I want without ever having to worry about any type of financial repercussions. Like if I want to wake up on a Monday and go play 18 and then on Tuesday work from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., like then I'll do that. And so like that,
Mhm.
obviously that lifestyle is a goal and a drive, but I think just the aspect of being a part of the game and playing it, I think is what interests me the most personally, which I think Brady and I both align with.
Yeah, I've done a lot of thinking about this recently too. With Jake, you and I talked about it again in a different podcast, but I've had to really recalibrate like what I find enjoyable, Jackson, because I don't I don't think I'm a psychopath, but I don't enjoy a lot of things other people do. And
Yeah, that was a little aggressive being your little
no,
brother, but
for sure, maybe I am, but I have had to think through for myself because I've spent a lot of time doing things because other people do them and they find enjoyment in them and I should too, but I don't. So I like had to kind of recalibrate and sit down for the past year and a half and figure out what do I even like? What do I enjoy? Not what other people enjoy that I want to enjoy, but what do I actually enjoy? And I think when I look at all of my previous experiences where I've had a ton of fun and actually gained a ton of value from the experience, it always comes down to competition is involved. And whether it's golf, baseball, football, basketball, sales, entrepreneurship, it always comes down to a massive goal with constant iterations and competition towards that goal. And so I've just had to break that down for myself to say that that's what I find enjoyable. I don't necessarily find concerts that enjoyable. Like I wish I did, but I don't. So the thing I enjoy most, I told Jake the other day, is like seeing my to-do list fucking done. That hypes me up more than any concert can get me going. And other people might not feel that way, and that's okay.
very few probably do.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. I've just had to learn to accept that, and I think that's a good segue into my other point of you made the point earlier that sales seems like a bridge between entrepreneurship and your typical corporate job, where you get a lot of the benefits of entrepreneurship without a lot of the downside risk. And I would 100% agree with that. Going from a Fortune 100 company, corporate America, 9 to 5 job, to now a strategic SaaS selling job, it is very much a bridge between corporate America 9 to 5 and entrepreneurship. Because Jake and I, we can make our own schedules if we want and just tell customers we're not going to meet with them that day, move meetings around if we want. We are held partially to our results to where, yeah, I don't have to take any meetings this week, but I'm not going to sell anything either. Similar to an entrepreneurship type of gig. But we don't have the downsides of, as long as we're at a decent company, I don't have the downside that I could go under tomorrow or I'm going to get sued tomorrow or I'm going to have an employee up and leave and I'm going to have to fill that position. The breadth of problems that I solve is very narrow. I'm not building a t-shirt rack one day and then doing financials the next.
Sometimes the same day.
Sometimes the same hour.
The same 15 minutes.
Yep. But the other thing is that I don't get to participate in as much of the upside. So I don't have as much of the downside, but I don't have as much of the upside. And so I think that's a critical thing too for me to continually think through is as I'm looking at opportunities, not just looking at them because other people do them. I don't want to be an entrepreneur just because other people want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to just work 9 to 5 because other people want to. Like, what do I want out of this opportunity? And I think I think it's been really beneficial for me to do that. And for you and your situation, like every opportunity is different. You can be an entrepreneur and only make $30K a year. And like you said, grind your ass off and barely make ends meet. And you would have been better off if money was your goal to take a sales job. Or there's other people that are in sales roles that would be better off being entrepreneurs based on what their goals are and what their opportunity vehicles look like.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. And it just goes back to that whole thing of, finding, what you want to do. So therefore you can work hard at it. With you like figuring out what, thing you want to do in order to create that you guys enjoy. So therefore you can put in the however much time it's going to take. Usually ends up being a lot more than you actually think to get there.
And it'll make a cool story someday.
What was that, Jake?
So then it'll make a cool story someday.
Yeah,
100%.
That's true too.
I think back to baseball, Jake and Jackson, obviously this with high school baseball, but the days where you just want to throw your bat through the wall when you get home and you just want to quit baseball and it's all over. And then you wake up the next day and you're kind of like, yeah, let's go lift. Let's go take some hacks. And just that, you always want to come back to that. Jax, I'm sure you're in a similar position with the business of where one day or 1 week, it might just be like, this fucking sucks, man. I'm out. And then you wake up and have that lady come into your store or tell you her story or see somebody wearing your stuff at a random place that you've never been to before. And you get, that feeling back that it's like, oh, this is exactly what I want to be doing. If you enjoyed the video and you're willing to help out two dudes you've never met before, then click this button to subscribe. You will help us more than you know, and it only takes 2 clicks. Then click this video to watch more.